the world is stressful. You know what I'm saying? It's stressing me out. And I just feel like, ugh. Hey everyone, it's me, Hallease, endeavoring to persevere. As always, if you're new here, I make videos about my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow, social media, all of the things. I don't know about y'all, but the world is like frustrating me. You know, your girl is coping in whatever way she can, and part of that means retail therapy. So we are gonna do our nails in this video because I purchased the entire set of Olive and June. Did I need it? No, not at all, not in the slightest. But did it help me feel just that quick hit of I'm gonna be okay? It did. And so I went through and I bought their whole mani set. Because why not? Not sponsored in the slightest. Hope it should be. But while I was purchasing all of this, something else dawned on me as well. Is like, okay, Hallease, you need the retail therapy hit, fine. That's fine. But what are you finna do? I think the thing that makes everything so overwhelming right now, at least for me, is the fact that there's a lot of chaos and there's a lot of negativity. And you can see all the things that are going wrong. You can see all the things that need our attention. And yet there's not really much of a conversation about like the actionable things you can do within those struggles, within that chaos that's happening. What are the actions? What can you control, you know? And I don't see that happening a lot. And so while we paint our nails, because I need to turn this frivolous purchase into a tax write-off, I am also going to talk about some calls to action. If you're feeling overwhelmed right now, if you feel like you don't know what you can do because there just doesn't seem to be any clear answers, here's a couple of things. Take them, leave them. Maybe we go with bright and focused, because I think that also states our intention for why this video exists, is I want us all to be energized. Ooh, you know what? We're gonna go energized. While I do want sweet and graciousness to be put out, I also want there to be an energy about us all. Only struggle I find with this poppy thing is like, oh, I actually got it right. You know, you want it to like line up with the side, and I did that pretty well, so that's cool. All right, so this is prepped. Also, do y'all leave your jewelry on when you paint your nails? Is it obvious I don't do this? And then I actually learned this tip from the videos, the training videos, where, because you know, first off, I'm a very oily person. And so something they mentioned, like right before you're about to paint, put your fingers in the nail polish remover, and it'll just kind of dry out the tips of your fingers a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start priming my nails. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna talk about the first call to action I think is still relevant: voting. Look, first off, am I using the right thing? Nail primer, yes I am. Voting though, first thing, like believe me, I am disenchanted, okay? Your girl is disenchanted with the voting process. Voting is one of the few things that all of us as sort of everyday citizens can do to, even if it feels like it's shooting, you know, even if it feels like it's yelling into the void, I still feel like voting is one of the few things you can do now to have some variation of your voice be heard. Vote.org is a really great organization that shows you, based on your state, where you can register to vote. I want to say they also give you a look at just like when voting registration starts, ends. So much about the nuts and bolts of voting and how to do it, where to do it, when to do it, registering, all that kind of stuff. Vote.org is such a great resource for that. Energized, here we go. We're prepped. We are gonna do our first coat of Energize. Lord, give me strength. I do feel like I'm gonna have to put like a whole bunch of coats of this though. This will be happening when you got the vegan, cruelty free, none of the bad stuff polish. I ain't mad at them, you know, keep doing you, keep making the vegan cruelty stuff, you know, cruelty free, keep making it. I'ma buy it. I'm just saying, The trade-off is 7 coats. One side done. Let's get this side going. This is when I look. This is when I really be calling on the Lord, using my left hand. I feel like if I that's okay. That's okay, because we got our brush. We can correct it in a second. You know what? That's actually a good life lesson. Most of the mistakes we make in life, they feel so big, you know? But one stroke at a time. You know what I mean? Obviously barring, harm and death, all that kind of stuff. And if they can't be undone, they can be, lived with. Failure isn't a permanent state. You can fail at something or not do it so well. And it's a very temporary place to be, failure. In the comments below, let me know, how long do you usually let your nails sit in between coats? Moving on to coat number 2, and the second thing. The second call to action that I want to share with y'all. Canvassing digitally in battleground states. Yes, we're still on voting and things of that nature. Something that I'll often hear people talk about, especially here in Texas where I'm at, the struggle of feeling like their vote doesn't matter, but you can canvass digitally for anyone. So thinking about canvassing digitally in a battleground state is something that you can do. So that way you can feel like you're making a difference towards whatever candidate or whatever policy matters to you. And I'm sure some of y'all are probably already starting to get those text messages. I know I am, of like, hey, who are you voting for? Are you registered? Blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. That's a digital canvasser. That's somebody, they may or may not be in your state. And so that's something you can do. If you feel like you've got the time, the resources, and you're very politically minded and politically focused, look and try. Actually, do we need 3 coats? That's a bubble. No, that's a bubble right there. Y'all, how do we... In the comments below, basically teach me how to girl. In so few words. Teach me how to girl. I'm just kidding. What is feminine? What is masculine? You know what I'm saying? I have this app on my phone called Pattern. I'm Christian, you know what I'm saying? I believe in God, amen. But I be checking, seeing what the blasphemers are doing. It's basically an astrology app. And one of the things it was like, I think right now it says what is it? Finding my power or something like that. I don't know. It says that, and it says part of what I have to do is learn how to live with both my masculine energy and my feminine energy at the same time and be okay with it. And I'm doing this video, so I don't know. Am I doing it? Am I being okay with the masculines and the feminines? Let's see. Ooh, in the comments below. What energy do you feel like I give? Do I give feminine? Do I give First thing, define feminine and masculine energy for you. Don't be rude to someone else how they're defining it. Everyone defines it differently. Define it, and then tell me which one you think I give most of the time. Give me like a percentage range or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel you're 30% masculine, 70% feminine. I will not be offended at whatever. Ooh, that's way too much. I will not be offended at however much energy you think I do or don't have. What were we talking about? Canvassing. Something you can do from the safety of your own home. You know what I'm saying? This is also something you can do if you live in this country in the United States and you aren't registered. You can't register to vote for whatever reason. If you're not a citizen or you're just not old enough to vote yet. I know it's not a lot of younger people that watch me. It's mostly people within my age range. This finger's a mess. Wow. Anyway, but if you are younger and you can't quite vote yet, think about digitally canvassing. Check with your parents. Shout out to Olive and June for this brush, because this brush right here is the MVP. The next thing you can do, which I am actively doing, is charitable giving. Give and it will come back to you. Amen. Look, I didn't take a break between these. We're gonna roll with it. It'll be fine. The break was painting the other hand. We're good. Ooh, was the break painting the other hand? We might need to wait. While we wait, I'm really glad we went with energize to just manifest how we feel and what we're striving for. You know what I'm saying? Oh, doing the Lord's work with that paintbrush though. Charitable giving. I feel like this is something Obviously there's an air of privilege with this one. Charitable giving is hard, especially right now. Again, these gas prices are no joke. This inflation though, my grocery bill, can we talk about it? For me, this is something I am actively doing because the fact of the matter is, while we all want to try to do everything we can, I think within our power and our means to help, at the end of the day, we also all have to go to work. We also all have to take care of our families. We have a lot of priorities that are very immediate. And so I find that donating to organizations that are doing the work on the ground, I find that to be a very rewarding thing for me. And not because I'm not also doing things, but because I can't be everywhere all at once. And there are people within these organizations, these 501c3s, that it's their whole purpose and job to go out and help people with whatever they need. They are paid a salary, a wage to help people. When I'm doing my charitable giving, and I'm a recurring giver to these organizations, but when I'm doing my giving, I tend to focus my giving towards the Maslowian needs first. The San Antonio Food Bank is an organization that I am a monthly giver to. I don't know about y'all's food bank, but my food bank here in San Antonio, they feed not just San Antonio, they feed like San Antonio down. It feels like I get the same hit leaving my account to go to the San Antonio Food Bank. I get the same hit as buying stuff, like buying this. I'm just like, ooh, I just bought so many meals for so many people. Amen. You know, like I've also volunteered with them before as well. Many years ago when I had a bit more time, my schedule was a bit more, when I used to have a W-2 job and like my hours were very set, I would go and volunteer with them. I would go and sort food, like organize the food, which was where I learned all about like how the expiration dates are kind of a suggestion. And not in a sense of like, oh my gosh, you're poisoning people. Like, no. It really just, if it's not opened and it's not broken, you know, or anything like that, like especially with cans, if they're not cracked or dented or anything and it's not been opened, that food lasts a long time. I also give to my local NPR station. Mine's is Texas Public Radio. They do national news. They also have, we get international news as well via them. And I was what do they call it? I was a backseat listener growing up. And then women's health overall is really important to me, and having access to women's health overall is really important to me. And so I also give to Planned Parenthood. So those are just a few, and I've worked it into just my overall budget of existing. This right here, can we talk about this? 3 coats, feeling really good about what I'm seeing with these nails. Feeling proud of myself, actually. The last thing I want to talk about while we let our nails look, and I'm gonna try not to gesticulate and just let them sit here. The last thing I want to talk about that I think is a really great option too is becoming a legal observer or a poll monitor. Okay, ACLU of Texas. Oh, I forgot to mention, I donate to them too. Becoming a legal observer or a poll monitor. You can do that, at least for Texas, through the ACLU Texas chapter. If you head to their website, you can see where you can learn more information about it. This isn't something I'm doing yet. This is something I'm learning about right now. I want to just see if it's something that I can maybe work into my life. Through the years, I have protested and gone to protests and been a part of protests for varying things. And I just feel like for me, it's not my ministry. If you watched my channel in 2020, I made a video that was around like de-stressing, and I made it specifically for people that were coming back from protests and what I wanted them to feel when they got back. Protesting matters and is needed, and that's why I'm looking into potentially becoming a legal observer. So with the ACLU of Texas, you could become a legal observer, meaning that you aren't involved in the protests, but you observe the protests to make sure that no one's rights is being violated. Make sure that everyone is actually having the right to be there. I feel like that is such a good use of me because I be seeing stuff, y'all. I just be like, like, if y'all need me to make sure that somebody ain't doing what they shouldn't be doing, police or whatever, I could do that all day. So I'm looking into it. I want to say that there's, you have to sign up for like a 1 hour sort of training seminar. And then it seems like what happens is they know more or less what area of your country you're in or state, city you're in. And if you're close by, then they'll contact you every time a protest is beginning or is scheduled or whatever, and you just go and observe. I'm looking into that. And then same thing with the poll monitor. Again, just like, you know what we're not gonna mess with today? Democracy. That's what we're not gonna mess with today. But all that being said, it's been 5 minutes. I forgot to do the super coat. That's what I'm feeling right now. And I feel like usually if I'm feeling something, then there's others that are feeling that too. And that's why I wanted to make this video, to show you that I too felt it. Here's what I'm doing about it. Does it alleviate? Does it alleviate my concerns? No, not all of them. I'm still scared. I'm still angry. I'm still tired. But I'm not doing nothing. And for me, that matters a lot. A big shout out to my Patreon producers, patreon.com/Hallease. There you get early access to these videos on my channel, as well as private vlogs as well that are exclusive to Patreon. Again, I'm Hallease, endeavoring to persevere as always. If you're new here and you made it this far in the video, consider subscribing. And this pinky looks like trash because I just bumped it, but you know, I'll see you when I see you.